What's up YouTube? Welcome back to Jackal Gold Games, and in this video I'm going to be talking about underrated hidden gem video games. So I have 6 choices here. I'm going to talk about some video games that I think aren't talked about as much or aren't really as appreciated as I think they should be. That's kind of what hidden gem underrated is. So let's get started with this video, and you might be able to find some new games to try and play that you may not have heard of. So the first one I'm going to get into is Silent Hill Homecoming. I think this is a pretty good survival horror game. I enjoy it. Now, Silent Hill is a known series, but this is not one of the most regarded or talked about ones. It seems to be the most hated one from what I can tell, but I actually think it's a pretty good survival horror game. It does have its problems like grain issue, and some of the guns have limited ammunition that's more strict than even the older Silent Hill games. But other than that, I think it's still a pretty good game. It's a fun over-the-shoulder Silent Hill game. It was the first Silent Hill game to go over the shoulder, which was really nice. Well, maybe not fully, because Silent Hill Origins was that, but it's still a pretty good game. Despite the reception you hear, if you know about the Silent Hill series, a lot of people speak fondly about, the older ones and two, which I get, but I do think this is worth playing, to be honest. I definitely recommend it. I would consider it a hidden gem, underrated in my opinion, because it gets a bad rap, but I think it's actually pretty good and worth trying out. If you like survival horror, give this one a try. It's a pretty good game. So, yeah, that's my first choice. You can either get this on 360 or PS3. I believe this is one of the more affordable Silent Hill games. Could be wrong on that, but I think it is. The second choice I'm going to be getting into is Dynasty Warriors 6. Now, this game I have some issues with. Like, I think every character not having a campaign is dumb. There is cut characters, and the Rimbu system could have some things changed to it. But I still think it's a good game and it's worth playing. It's a good hack and slash type game. I do like this game a lot. Good campaigns, good graphic style, good voice acting. It did some different interesting things with Dynasty Warriors that I did like. It's got some good music. It's a challenging game as well, which I appreciate. And I do think it's worth playing. It does something different with the series and it does some cool different things with the story. And the Warriors games themselves are pretty overlooked, I think. They do get some bad reviews, but I do think they're pretty overlooked because there isn't always, even to this day, there's not a whole lot of talk, I feel like, about these games. And I think they definitely deserve to be talked about more. Plus, this game is 1080p, 60 frames on 360, which is really nice. It runs smooth. So that's my second choice, Dynasty Warrior 6. You can either get this on Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3 or PS2 if you want the extra content. It's not that expensive of a game either. The third choice I'm going to get into is The Evil Within. Another really good survival horror game. Definitely worth playing, in my opinion. Now, some people know about this. It did have a lot of stuff going for it because of the whole Shinji Mikami, its first game after RE4. But this game got kind of a mixed reception. I mean, the frame rate could be better, and we need a frame rate patch, I think. And the there's some things like maybe the aiming could have had a FOV option, even though I got used to it, the way the aiming camera looks when you're aiming a gun, and the letterbox thing they eventually fixed that was in there at launch. But aside from that, I think this is actually a really solid survival horror game. It's got a really cool atmosphere, fun survival horror gameplay, really cool guns to use. I like the art style of this game. It's pretty dark and serious. I like the characters. You got some cool voice actors in here. You got Jackie Earl Haley, who was Rorschach and Watchmen, voicing Rubik. He does a pretty good job. You got Jennifer Carpenter voicing Kidman. You got Anson Mount voicing Sebastian. And then the guy voicing Joseph, I recognize him. He's voiced plenty of characters like Soonsei and Dynasty Warriors and stuff like that, at least the later ones. But it's definitely a game worth playing. There's cool enemies like the Keeper with the safe on his head. You can either get this on the 7th generation or the 8th generation. Not that expensive of a game, pretty affordable, and it's worth playing. So if you're a fan of survival horror games, especially like over-the-shoulder third-person shooter games, definitely give this one a look. Don't try to go by reception and reviews a lot of times because at the end of the day, those are just the opinion of what they think is something. Sometimes what you think is something is going to be different than what a lot of reviews think. So always try something for yourself if you're able to. So that's my third choice. My fourth choice is going to be Inversion, which is a third-person shooter on Xbox 360. This is a very underrated game. I think it's one of the most criminally underrated games ever. I played this game, it's awesome. If you like third-person shooters, if you like Gears of War, get this game. It wasn't that expensive. It's on Xbox 360, PS3, and I think PC as well. Really good game. It's a great third-person shooter, similar to Gears of War with some gravity-based gameplay. That's pretty cool. I think that's a cool gimmick they have. I like the characters. I like the story of you trying to find your daughter and dealing with these people that have invaded the planet Earth. And I like the guns you use. I like the third-person shooter gameplay. I love the similar stuff to Gears. I think that's cool because I'm a big fan of Gears of War. I've always said that I thought this was better than Gears 4 and 5 because campaign's better, better characters, and just an underrated game. It didn't sell that well when it came out. Not a lot of people talk about it. I don't know if a lot of people even know about it, to be honest, and that's why I put it on the list. It's criminally underrated. Definitely give this game a look. It's very good, honestly. I wish it would get a sequel because it's great or a remaster. So that is my fourth choice. So my fifth choice is going to be Strange Brigade on PS4 or Strange Brigade, however you say it. So this is a third-person shooter on the eighth generation. It's on PS4, Xbox One, PC, I think. And I played this on PS4. I think this is a pretty cool game. It's a fun third-person shooter. There's four characters you can play as. You can collect gold and kill enemies and get upgrades and buy stuff from the store. There's a co-op aspect to this where you can play with other friends. So as an online co-op feature if you want to play a third-person shooter with some friends. And I like how it's like Egyptian style third-person shooter with enemies like that are pretty cool. I like the Egypt style of this game, the enemies you face. I do think the story and characters could be a little bit stronger, in my opinion. That's one of the only things I was kind of iffy on with this game. I do think some of the expansion characters are really good, honestly. Like the Japanese soldier is really cool. I like the Southern dude. Those are some of the ones I use. But it's definitely worth playing. Really good third person shooter. I definitely recommend it. I don't know if it's that expensive. It could be pretty affordable, I assume, but it's definitely an underrated game. I don't really hear people talk about it all that much. Definitely something worth playing on the eighth generation. It's pretty awesome. So that is my fifth choice. So my sixth and final choice is going to be Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sanada. Now I think the Samurai Warrior series is very underrated. I've always looked at it as like the underdog when it comes to Warriors games because Warriors Roshi Dynasty Warriors are a little bit more known, kind of more talked about, though they are still underrated. But I think Samurai Warriors is a true underdog. It's a series that I think deserves a lot more attention, a lot more recognition. It's not just Dynasty Warriors and feudal Japan. There's, I think, a lot of differences that set these series apart. And this is a really good game. I enjoy Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sonnet. If you like hack and slash games, definitely worth playing. It's on PS4. It's on PC. I'm not sure what other consoles it's on, but it's a really good game. It's got great graphic art style. It follows kind of the engine they were using with Samurai Warriors 4. Very fun hack and slash game with the hyper attacks. Really cool story that it tells from the beginning to the end of the Sanada, and you get some stuff with the Takeda, and you get to see cool things in this game, like Yukimura Sanada as a kid, and then kind of his teenage young years, and then him as an adult with his beard. And it's pretty cool because when he gets older in the game, you get new charge attacks with him, and they did some really cool stuff with him in this game. He's pretty awesome. You get other new characters like Cha Cha, who is related to Nagamasa and Oichi, that's their daughter. You got Masayuki Sanada, who is Yukimura's dad and Nobuyuki's dad. And you get this new ninja character named Sasuke. So definitely worth playing. I recommend it. Really good hack and slash game. Fun to play and a really cool story to follow and just a really awesome game. So yeah, Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sanada, it blew me away. I put it up there as one of the best Warriors games, one of the best Samurai Warriors games. It was well made in my opinion. It's really cool. And I like the town system in this game where you walk around with certain characters and you talk to NPCs, you have some quests and stuff, which is pretty nice. Would love to see them do something like this, but for Dynasty Warriors. I would say do like a Way type spinoff. But yeah, another one worth checking out, Samurai Warrior Spirit of Sanada. So that's it for this video about some underrated hidden gem video games, just six choices. Metal Jesus Rocks have done videos like this, but they usually stuck it to consoles. I went ahead and just did an in general thing. And yeah, just six choices from my collection of video games that I think are worth playing, that are underrated. Hopefully, this video helps you out in finding some new video games you can play that aren't as known. And yeah, let me know in the comments what are some hidden gems and underrated games that you think exist out there. But that's it for this video. Peace out.